Are we live yet?
Yeah. Hi, Peter.
Yeah. How many we got? Have we got anyone in the stream yet? 7 waiting, it says.
Yeah. So, hey, here we go.
Turn the
We're
sound
live
down.
again.
Hang on. We're a bit disorganised today again. Let me just turn this sound down. Is there anybody out? We've got one person in. Mosey, hey up. Where is everyone? Yeah, they've all disappeared. We had a bit of a cock up with the start of it.
Yeah. Hi, Moses. How's everybody?
We haven't seen you. We haven't seen you for a while. What have you been up to?
Oh yeah, just things have been hectic here in Thailand. So just been at work, most of the days, and not really been available at home or not at the right times when we can talk to each other. So this week it's all calming down a little bit. End of April, so things are getting slowly back to normal.
Yeah. Well, you say things are getting back to normal. I mean, without being too specific, it sounds like, things are going the other way.
Not normal for me anyway. Normal for me at
All
work,
right.
but not normal for Thailand. Yeah, I mean, obviously things are not going great in Thailand at the moment.
Let me just say hello to a few people. Not too many in at the moment, but hi to Tony Dunn. How you doing, guys? Tilt, hi. Fitzy. Hi, lads. There's a bit of an echo in the audio. What, on mine or Simon's or both of us? That might have gone because I had my sound on at the beginning. Is your sound off, Simon? Anomad Overseas, good morning, folks. David Boff, is it? Hey, legends from Australia. Okay. Yeah, so this is our... we're going to be doing this regular now. We had a bit of a cock-up at the beginning, but hopefully next week it'll be okay. There's 18 in the stream now, so we've got Simon with us today. So any questions you want to ask him about Thailand, he is here live, as they say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I was just saying, IOM Tilt, hi to you in the Isle of Man. I don't think you ever sleep. Every stream I see, whether it's Peter or any others, he's always here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Adrian. Hi
right.
Till It Hurts. Fitzy.
Okay, Fitzy said there's an echo on my mic. Has it gone now or is it still there? Because I did have my sound on at the beginning. Hang on, let me turn that.
Oh yeah, I think it's when you had it on your tablet. It was coming through on. You could hear it in the background.
Yeah, it should be okay now.
Hi Mazza. Just woken up from night shift. Whereabouts are you?
Oh, David, I won't be having these singers at the moment.
That's all right for me. It's now coming up to, what's the time here? It's now 6 p.m. in the evening here in Thailand, so it's coming up to beer o'clock.
You'll be on the Thai whiskey.
No, I'm trying to cut
Do you
down
drink
the whiskey.
Thai whiskey?
Yeah. I normally drink 100 pipers. No, not 100
that. I mean the traditional Thai whiskey, the Kuntap, is it? I forget what it's called.
No, they used to have. Well, they got a Nong Hong is one of them.
That's the one.
And the other one, the most popular at the minute is Blend 285. That's the most popular one.
Yeah, but I don't. Oh, my seat's just gone. I don't class that as a Thai whiskey. It's like a supermarket whiskey we get here. When I say a Thai whiskey, the one with the Thai writing on the front, I forget the name of it.
I think that's
somebody will remind me.
Nong Hong or Sang Som. It used to be. There used to be Mekong and Sang Song or Sang Tip.
I tried it when I first got to Thailand, but I found it really sugary, syrupy. It was kind of like it wasn't like whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the recipe's changed now.
That's it. Yeah, like IOM Tilt, Never Sleep, and Mazza, sunny Northampton.
Right, Simon, is there anything from your end why my mic would be echoing? Because everything's set as normal for me, and I don't have this echo on my own stream on Saturday nights. So maybe it's
no. I think that was earlier. I think it's all.
No,
that was when you
said again. Because I asked him again. I said, "Is it still there?" I've turned the volume off. He's just come back in and said it's still there. I've turned my heater off. Maybe you can hear my heater. Got your heater on over there, Simon.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Peter, one. There is an echo on your end, Christopher Walker. Strange. I never have it normally. I don't know what's going on. Your end, Simon. What's the settings?
Yeah, I'll see if I can turn it down on here.
If not, I'll have to put my echo in the background. Yeah, everyone's saying there's an echo in the background.
If not, I'll have to put my headphones in.
Well, no, there's an echo at my end, from my end, they're saying.
That's what I mean. It might be coming like through, I don't know, through there and then back. Let me try on.
Young Wookie, hey guys. Mr. Superstar, good evening, gents from Perth, Australia. Finally, a time I can catch the live streams. Yeah, we're going to try and do this one every Wednesday, so it's 6 o'clock for Simon at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry about the awkward times. Obviously Peter being in the UK is what are you there? 6 hours ahead?
Well, at the moment in the winter it's 7. I'm just wondering about this echo. Why you got something in your ear?
Because I said I might have to put on my headphones so you don't come out of the speakers.
No, but the echo's my end, they said. It's coming from my mic.
Oh yeah?
When I talk.
Well, we'll get there.
Chris Phillips, clear as a bell, no echo, Peter. Good. I think what it was then, Chris, I think it was, when we start, if the sound's on another monitor, it comes out like you're watching it kind of. Anyway, let's not talk about the sound. So how are all you guys doing? Anybody at work today? Mark DXB, sounds okay to me. Good. Okay, we won't talk about the sound anymore. Right. So how over there, Simon, in Thailand? That's what everybody wants to know. How's the? We can't be too specific using the. I've got my coded words here: the Cyrus and the Mona 19. YouTube don't like us to use these words, as you know. But I read Bangkok Dave wrote to me and said there was 3,000 new cases in a day.
Yeah. It's getting it's getting a lot worse again. I think the Thailand's now going through the third phase, but the problem is people are how would you say complacent now. I think, but this is the worst Thailand's been. Since the first phase, it was not as many as this time. Now, for the last week or so, it was like 1,005, 1,008, 2,000, 2,5, 2,8, and it's So
is it
it's
everywhere or just certain regions?
Well, it was originally sort of mainly in Bangkok, but what it was, there was some parties going on, and this is they complained about these parties that were happening in Tonglaw, and then from that, it sort of spread. So they initially made Bangkok a red zone, and then now they've extended it, and now there's quite a few zones. Well, most of Thailand is now becoming controlled zones. So they're on about restricting travel between provinces, and even now, if you go between provinces, you're meant to have a test certificate. Places like Phuket and that are not allowing any travellers in. So yeah, it's not great. But they haven't imposed an official curfew this time yet. Everyone they're saying maybe they will, but I mean at the moment everywhere's shutting down at 10 p.m. Supermarkets
are all the bars closed now? I mean, I obviously been in the UK. I can only read all the the Tiger and the Examiner and all the rest of it. But sometimes the news is a day or two late. But I watch some of these videos. If you don't get to the Sukhumvit very often, do you?
I don't go that often, no. But I mean, now all those places have been ordered to shut. So, pretty much everywhere, bars, restaurants are allowed to open, but no alcohol. They have to close by 11 p.m. I think it is now. But yeah, all the bars, gyms, everywhere.
Daniel Mills, no disrespect to Ed Sweeney, but have you thought about taking his 10 o'clock slot on Wednesdays? Well, the problem with that is, Daniel, Simon, the whole point of this stream at this time is so that we can do it together, Simon and I, 6 hours apart. So if we did it 10 o'clock on a Wednesday, that would be, what's that, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be like 5 o'clock in the morning for Simon's. I think you do get up quite early, don't you? But I don't think you can get up and do a live stream.
Yeah, maybe at 5 a.m. in the morning. I won't quite be with it yet.
No. Yeah, so it doesn't look like tourists are going to be allowed in anytime soon, does it?
No, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it's like you look at the UK and it looks like, you guys are getting everything back in order again now, right? You seem to be things under control and everything, whereas Thailand's now going the opposite way. But who knows?
Yeah, the UK, it's not gone, but it's probably it's getting better. That's for sure. There's a lot less restrictions now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said on my stream last Saturday, his girlfriend's a mammoth at one of the bars, and she said that all of her girls are fed up of it. They'd rather take a chance and just carry on as normal. But I mean, I know that's not the right way to do it. But I mean, do you get
Yeah.
to talk, not bar girls obviously, but what do the Thais feel about it with no tourists and the way things
Yeah, I
are?
mean,
You know.
I suppose it depends who you talk to. It's like when you talk to, I've got a couple of friends who are in the hotel. One of them, down in Hue Hin, he was saying, their attitude is like, we just want to get open again and, you know, try to get back to business. But obviously, there's no tourists, so it's only the locals who are going to go and visit these places. And unfortunately, I mean, I know it's not. I know everybody's hurting, and it's not nice to say, but this is why it keeps coming back. When people just think to themselves, "Ah, sod it, I'm just going to open again." That's when the problems happen, and this is what happened with this time. With Tong Law, they opened the bars, they had a load of parties, and then there was a few people infected there, and from that one or two parties, it spread. It went to Phuket and all over, and now they're sort of pointing fingers at the younger generation, saying, it's the younger kids are now spreading it because they're going partying. But it's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, unless they have like a real lockdown or they break out the vaccine like they have here, then it might be a while. Let me just say hello to a few people who just joined us. Got to love Thailand. Yeah, hi. David Mills said hi to you already. Paul Conlon just joined us. Hi to you. So if you've just joined us, big welcome. 57 in the stream at the moment. This is really our first proper joint stream. We hope to be doing this every week, 12 o'clock UK time and 6 p.m. Thailand time.
Oh, yeah. I see young Wookie was on there. Like he said, Searle is back up to 800.
Yeah.
You don't really hear.
Brad, have you seen India?
Oh yeah. Jesus, India.
I watched a video yesterday. There was so. I tell you what. Let's not talk about this because it's going to. It's not. It's going to get everybody depressed, isn't it? Hi to Mike Mason. Yeah.
So what's happening in the? How's the weather in the UK now? I know everyone talks about the weather, but it's like Thailand at the moment. In the last week, I don't know if you saw any of the videos on YouTube and that, but we've had like flash floods in Bangkok again. We've had some really torrential rain, and there was about half a metre of water the other day in just outside Sukhumvit area, and the same where I am. Going in the Soy, there was it was up to the top of the wheels, just up to almost the wheel arch. And this is meant to be coming up to Thailand's summer, hot season or April, Songkran and everything.
But they've always had a problem with flooding in Thailand, haven't they? I mean, I remember watching a video a few years ago. It literally was like a river. You could. It was like a fast-flowing river, and I know they've improved the drains, haven't they, down in Pattaya?
Yeah. I tell you where was always funny, and that's in Phuket. Got a friend. He used to live just behind Jung Silong shopping mall. So if you know Phuket, you've got Jung Silong and then the Tiger Muay Thai, and the second road. He lived just off of that in a like, little bungalow complex. And the thing is, in Patong, when it rains, all the water funnels down to the main Patong area, and he used to go outside. And when I was there, his motorbike, it was up to the seat of his motorbike. So luckily his bungalow was up on stilts, but his motorbike was up to the seat in water.
Well, it wasn't so long ago. They had the tsunami down there, wouldn't it? But they bounced back.
Paul A. Geez, tune in. The English love talking about the weather.
Exactly. I was when you asked, I thought, is that the best you can do? Right. Hi to Paul. Just tuned in. Geez, the English love talking. Yeah, no, I don't like talking about the weather. Daryl Dean. Hi, Peter. Sorry to hear about Thailand. Miss my friends. Think it's going to be years to come until we all get back to Thailand. Stay safe from Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, I mean, the way it's going at the moment, I'd forget it. I mean, 3 months ago, we were talking about light at the end of the tunnel. October was looking good, wasn't it? Now, what do you reckon, Simon? When do you think it'll all open up again? It's just a guess, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a long time, especially due to what's happening now. They were talking about opening up Phuket in June, July, but I think that's out the window now. So I think they're just going to see what happens. But But yeah, there's quite a lot of expats now going back to the UK. I mean, I know a couple of people. They went back last week, and also a friend. I think Steve. His kids went back to the UK a couple of days ago. But they were saying that was a palaver. There was there's only about one flight a week, and just so much confusion of people going back. Some of them hadn't booked their COVID. Their tests.
I said to him at the beginning,
they're Cyrus.
That word. You went 15 minutes without saying it. Well done. Okay. Yeah, we know what you mean. Go on then.
No, they hadn't booked their test, because if you go back to the UK, you have to have a certificate to clear you at least 72 hours before you go, and then you have to actually book tests on I think it's the 5th and the 8th day, and if you haven't got that appointment, then they won't let you fly. So poor old Steve's kids were at the airport and they hadn't booked it. Luckily they managed to go online and book them, so they did let them fly in the end, but that was a bit of a last minute thing.
Yeah, there's a guy. I had people write to me and they said, "Oh, why don't you just go and do the quarantine?" But I only go for a couple of weeks at a time, so it wouldn't be worth it. By the time I come out of quarantine, I'd have to come back to the UK.
Yeah, that's it.
But there's a guy. I know how complicated it is with the dates. There's a guy who watches called Ralph. He's actually in Pattaya now, and I think I mentioned this to you before. He's made quite a bit of money, so he's not poor, and he wanted to come back. He's not married or anything, and he did do that. He just thought, I'm going to go through the quarantine because he's there for a year. He's going to stay there for a year, and he said he had to change his visa because of what you're talking about with the dates having to match up and everything. He said he just couldn't get everything to match up. So what he had to do was change the original visa that he wanted to one that wasn't as good, just to be able to get over there. He's there now. He sent me a picture from Pattaya with a new friend on his arm, but he got there in the end. But he said it was really a lot of hassle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Okay. And I don't know what the prices. I don't know what the prices of flights are now. I mean, I don't know whether they're far more expensive now than they were, in normal travel season. Maybe if anyone knows, because it used to be around 450 quid, wasn't it, return?
No, it's gone a little bit more than that now. It's normally about, when I fly Air, it's depending what time of the year it is. It's generally around sort of 500 quid now, maybe a little bit more. It's the only way you'll get it for 450 now is if you stop off in the Middle East for at least an hour or up to 10 hours, which I don't like to do.
I never used to like that. I always preferred the direct flight. At least when you're on the direct flight, you can get on, put your video on, and especially the ones, that have all the the TVs on the back of their headsets. I used to hate it when they used to have that one projector that everyone used to have to watch down the aisle.
Back a long way to that now, a long way. I mean, when's the last time you flew?
But someone told me that I don't know if it's every airline, but someone told me that they're not showing films on the flights either. So it's like when Steve's kids went back, they had to load up their iPads with everything, all the films and series to watch on the flight, because there's no in-flight entertainment.
I like the night flight going out there, because you can get plastered at the airport and sleep for the whole trip, and by the time you wake up, you're ready for action again. But I find it very difficult to get a night flight out there and a night flight back now, and I don't know why. It used to be easy. I can always get the 9:30 Sunday night flight out on Eva Air, but coming back, it's always a 1:30 p.m. from that end, and I can't sleep. I can't read a book, because when I start reading a book, then I feel tired. So I put the book away. I think, I can sleep now. Try to sleep, and I just can't sleep. So I get the book out again. It's just horrible.
Yeah, that's it. So, I always find it difficult to sleep on the plane. That's why I need to be on at least one of the airlines, like I said, that's got all the videos, because I just watch like 4 or 5 films back to back.
Right, let's say hello to a few people who else has joined us. Just read some comments out here.
There you go.
Right, going back, right. PJ, it's a prison planet now. Welcome to the New World Order. Blimey. Okay. Yeah, Paul A, 2 years minimum, I think. Mike Mason, I was planning June, have second jab 15th of May. Fitzy will hopefully eventually sort everything out. Yeah, I hope so. Clinton, hi. And what's that Uncle Peter bit? Where there was a message that was held back by YouTube, and you've put your email address in there. That's very... people don't normally want to do that, because they normally get bombarded with scams and stuff. But
sure he's not one of your relations?
Yeah, we've got a super chat there from Christopher Walker. Thanks, Chris. That'll buy the.
Hi, Christopher. Thanks for that.
Let Simon buy the beers with that.
That's it.
Always nice to
It's
get a super
getting, it's
chat.
getting definitely close to beer o'clock.
For you,
I
maybe.
might have to crack one open. You can have an afternoon beer.
Yeah, we're gonna get one. Then I'll just finish these comments off.
No, I didn't drink. I didn't start drinking yet. Otherwise, I'll have to keep going to the toilet.
Oh yeah.
Got a weak bladder.
So Clinton, if you're watching this, Clinton, hi Uncle Peter, take care. Clinton521@hotmail.com. Haven't got a clue what that's about. Right. Daniel Mills, it will take a long time to get everyone fractionated. I think this year is a write-off, unless you go to Phuket for 2. Yeah, I don't know about just this year, maybe somewhere next year as well. Daniel Mills will do the quarantine. It will take years to vaccinate the world. Yeah, can't disagree with you, but I just don't want to think about it.
How about where you are now? Is everything all open as normal now?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. Ian Brandon, hi Peter, it's Ian from Dublin, Ireland. Got your info from Dave Show. Good to see you live stream, thanks. Yeah, welcome to, Ian. Daniel Mills, hi. Sean Lester, you're right in saying if you're traveling for 3 weeks, it's not worth doing it. Well, your 2 weeks of it will be locked in a hotel room. Chad, good morning, Simon Peter from the USA. Hi, Chad. Daniel
hi, Chad.
Mills, what's that? I'm lost him. I'm only 30 minutes from Birmingham Airport, so always change over at Dubai. It's usually 2 or 3 changeovers. I don't know how old you are, Daniel, but if you're sort of, a lot younger than me, then you probably won't mind doing it. But when you get to my age, it's too much hassle.
Yeah, that's it.
Always do a stopover flight at Savings Pay for 2 good nights out. Yeah.
I was just looking at Shibuya, Sean, was that? I'm allergic to the sun, so I can't go out in the daytime. I also do not drink any alcohol. Would it still be viable for me to travel to Thailand? I'm thinking I can sleep all day. Well, I mean, just on that, the good thing about Bangkok and Thailand, I mean, it never sleeps, so there's always something to do. I mean, so if you go out, I mean, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when everything's back to normal. But Bangkok is buzzing day and night. So I mean, you remember when we used to be down out and about at like 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, it's packed. The traffic jams still down Sukhumvit Road.
I remember coming out of Therme with you at 6 o'clock in the morning. And just standing on Sukhumvit, rubbing my eyes, watching all the Thais go to work, and then looking at us like, what are they doing? But everywhere's closed, isn't it? 2, 3 o'clock now.
I mean, even before everything was, was going on, they had a curfew quite a few years ago, where they were saying all pubs and restaurants have to close at 2 a.m. And they do still enforce that. But saying that, I think they pushed it to 3 a.m. and then there's a few clubs, like there used to be, Insanity, Sugar, Climax and all them that were open till 6 a.m. in the morning. And so there's always some place you can go. Not, as I say, not now, but when it's back to normal. There used to always be some places you could find, and there's always food open. I mean, if you go around Chinatown and Sukhumvit, all the back areas, there's plenty of food stalls open at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying about he's allergic to the sun. He literally would have to sleep be in his room all day and then go out at 6 o'clock when it starts. But really, I mean, even before all this, because of the new laws and everything, after kind of 3 o'clock, other than a bit of food, there's nothing really to do anywhere now, is there? I mean, you can't go and have a drink. Even 7-Eleven doesn't serve.
Plus, I mean, there's not exactly much you can go and do if you want to go sightseeing at night, is there? I mean, most of the temples and all those places close in the evening, and so if you're allergic to the sun and can only go out at night, there's only really the entertainment places you can go to, isn't there, and the restaurants. So
yeah,
but yeah.
Our pal, Sawadee Krab.
Hello, Sawadee Krab, and Red Chariots, is Thailand open for tourists now? No, not at all at the minute.
So, do you ever get to go out anywhere? I mean, I know you don't really like heading down to Sukhumvit and them sort of places anymore, but when you do go out, do you just go out in your local area, or do you ever go like to? I mean, have you been to Hua Hin?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do. When I go out, I do go out down, all over the place. I mean, I got a Sukhumvit, Ceylon, all over the place. Rama 3 to the German brew house, Tawandang, and then Sukhumvit area. I mean, that's where everything is really. So yeah, I mean, I do go out. There's some really good English pubs there. One of them, just mentioned one of them, Bully's Bar. That's good. And then you got what's that? The one I quite often go to is Shenanigans at the top of Pat Pong. That's quite a good Irish pub. And then you got the got some good pubs in Southampton. You what?
They're all open, are they now? Those pubs or?
Not the ones that are classed as restaurants still are. So some
like
of them are still
like Shenanigans. They serve proper food, don't they? So
yeah. So some of them are open. It's just the main sort of just bars that aren't at the minute.
Some of the bars in patio when they changed the law and said, right, you can open as a restaurant and you can serve. I think not this time. The last time they said you can open as a restaurant and serve alcohol, but you must serve food. And to try and get away with it, some of the bars were sort of serving free peanuts to their, to try and, but they still cracked down on
peanuts here. Oh, I didn't eat peanuts. You see that? You see the what was it? That survey they done when they checked a bowl of peanuts and how many different specimens of urine or whatever was in the peanuts, because everybody goes to the toilet, touches the handles, and then fingers straight in the peanut bowl.
I always, if I go to McDonald's or somewhere, public toilet, I always get for the top of the door and open it with normally that I have my little finger from the top, because anyway. Right, there's a good question for you there, Simon, from Till. It says, Simon, can you expand on the benefits of the yellow, how do you pronounce that word?
Tabian. The yellow Tabian barn.
Mention a video you made if anybody hasn't seen it, and then,
Yeah, I mean, well, the Thai Tabian barn is just, like it's your house.
Even I don't know what it is.
It's the yellow. It's like a yellow house certificate. So I mean, all the Thais have one for their houses, and they have a blue one. But if you're a foreigner living here, then you can get a yellow one. And
what's the benefits of having one?
It's just like a proof of address. So quite often, if you're here as a tourist, it's not really going to benefit you much. But years ago, when you wanted to open a bank account, that you needed to have a lot more proof. But now the banks are a lot more flexible, and they will open you a bank account if you're a tourist. But if you've got that yellow Tabian barn, then if you apply for a driver's license, if you apply for a bank account, if you live here and you want to apply for finance and stuff like that, then it's like a proof of ID. And so it's just like another form of ID, really. Rather than carrying around your passport, you get a little pink ID card. It's just, I don't know.
So
I suppose it doesn't really make too much of a difference if you don't live here, but it's handy if you do.
Advocate for a minute. If you live in Thailand and you've got a contract for your condo, or you've got, I don't know, Thai driving license, or you've got some other kind of proof, why would you need one of them? Because you're married, you live out there, you've got a house on a mortgage and everything, so you've got more proof than you need. But I just still don't see why it would benefit you with all the proof you've already got.
It's just because, like I say, some of the places you need to prove where you live. Like even me, when I applied for my Thai driver's license, you have to go to immigration and you have to get a letter, for them to stamp to confirmation that you live here. And so if you've got that yellow Tabian barn, then you don't need to do that, because when you go to the immigration, I think it cost about, 500. I can't remember how much I paid now. I think it was 1,000 baht I paid in the end. But if you've got that Tabian barn, then you don't need that. So it's not, it depends.
You've made a video, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, that's it. The video's up. So it took me, it only took about an hour and a half to do. So it's quite easy. I was expecting it to be really difficult and, have to go back multiple times and a headache. But no, it's really, really easy. And the staff in there were all pretty good, and just gave them the documents, checked them all. They went through everything. Then you have to have an interview with like the head of the that department. So they just ask you like, what do you do here? And just to make sure you do live here. And then, then have your fingerprints taken, have a mug shot taken, and get a little pink ID card. So yeah, that was quite good.
I was laughing at you sitting there with you in your bare feet with the lines behind you, like prisoner number 7, getting your photograph taken.
Yeah.
Just say hi to Damon. He's in the chat at the moment. Owen, what the channel? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Martin Hodgins, does a foreigner who owns a condo not have a blue to Banyan? Well, you just said that the Thais have the blue one, don't they? You said.
Yeah. Actually, for foreigners, if you buy a condo, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone out there who's bought a condo. Maybe if Martin, I don't know if you own a condo, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you do get a blue one if you're a foreigner and you've actually owned the house, huh?
But you own your house, haven't you? You've got the Taban.
Yeah, but my house is not in my name. It's in my wife's name. But because it's a house. But if you're a foreigner, you can only own a condo.
You'll get some flack coming in about that, man.
Yeah.
No, she isn't. She wasn't a bar girl, was she?
No, that's it.
No.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'll. Oh yeah, so Martin Hodgins. So yeah, a blue one. So yeah, so there you go. I think so it must be if you actually own a condo, which you're allowed to do as a foreigner in Thailand, then you get a blue THAILAND-BOUND. So that's good.
Yeah.
So.
Owen, it's THAILAND-BOUND. That's the channel. Yeah. So did you? Yeah, Martin says it's a blue one as well. Sorry, I got confused there because I thought you said it was yellow for the foreigners and blue for the Thais.
Yeah, but I mean the difference is that Martin owns his home. So I mean, if you own your home,
I got you. Yeah.
If you own it,
it takes a while for the penny to drop. I got it. Yeah. He owns it, so he gets a blue one. But because yours is in your wife's name, wouldn't she get one then?
Yeah, she's got a blue one, so she's got the blue.
Oh yeah, but you want one for ID? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So you've also applied for a real resident. Have you applied for it? Yeah, the resident. They give about 100 a year.
Yeah. Thai.
Where you'd have the same rights as a Thai. You get the Thai ID. You can do you're not a foreigner anymore, basically, are you? You've got exactly. You're not a Thai person, but they only give 100 a year, and it's very strict.
Well.
Wait, tell us about that because I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, well, that's the Thai residency. So yeah, I mean, I'm now in the process of applying. So it takes about a year to go through the whole process, and like you say, they only issue around 100 per nationality a year. So I've now submitted all my documents. I've been for the interview. So yeah, you basically, and also they've changed the rules on it. So what it used to be is that you could apply for your Thai residency, and then once you got your Thai residency, you used to have to hold that for 5 years, and then you could apply for Thai citizenship, where you get your Thai ID card. But now, I was speaking to the department, and they said there's a shortcut that now you can skip those 5 years. If you're married to a Thai and you apply for your residency, you can skip the 5 years and apply for Thai citizenship. So let's see. I mean, the first step is to get the Thai residence first. But then,
so what would be the benefits? What would be the benefits for you, other than the?
Well, then if you get your Thai residency, then that means you don't have to do the normal 90-day reporting. You don't have your visas like you have to do now. When you have to go out and back in again or whatever. And then when you eventually become a Thai citizen, then you've got all the same rights as a Thai citizen at the end of the day. You can buy land, you can own a company, everything. So it's similar to like in the UK. If when Thais come to the UK, they have to get a what do you call it, a leave to remain for so many years, and then after that they can apply for a British passport. So pretty much the same almost in Thailand. So you just get all the benefits then.
We had a first Thai massage shop open up here recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I haven't tried it, but it says it's called Pamper Yourself, or Let Us Pamper You, or something like that. There's never been one here before, but it's I drove past it yesterday, and there's Thai girls in there. So yeah. I
got a friend of mine. He's in Norfolk. They've opened a Thai massage shop, and it does really well. I mean, because I think Thailand's famous for massage, and so Thai massage is obviously quite popular. And yes, I think
is that why it's popular though?
No, but yes, it's not. It's nothing naughty. It's a proper Thai massage, so it's not, it's not no funny business. And I think they got about three of them who do it, and they have their regular clients, and they also go to people's houses and do the massage there.
Get the address off here after this. Yeah. So
they might not come as far as where you are.
Yeah, but they must be Thais who are married to foreigners there, right? Because you remember the hassle we had with getting Thai staff when we had the restaurant.
Yeah. So yeah, just Christopher Walker. Do you know any foreigners who have actually been granted Thai citizenship? Yeah. I mean, I know quite a few. One of the guys I know, Lee. He's based in Pattaya. I mean, he's had his Thai citizenship. Another guy called I think Noah. I saw him on Facebook. He got his, and there's actually I did see one the other day of the guy who he's posted a link to his story of what obviously when he done his and he went through all the hurdles of applying, and he's got his. So yeah, I know quite a few people who have got it. Like I say, I don't think it's easy, and you have to have I think it's about 193,000 baht is the fee that you have to pay to get the citizenship. Really? And then there's a registration
you have to pay for it. That much?
Yeah, I mean, and this is like, yeah, it's a weird number. I think it's something like 193,000 baht is the fee for it, but you do it in two stages. When you first apply and submit your paperwork, you pay like a deposit of, I think it was about 10,000 baht, and then when you go to the next step, then you have to pay the next fee.
Okay, here's a good question for you. Scott G, hi guys, what's the most frustrating or difficult thing about living in Thailand in a nutshell? I think I know what you're going to say.
So many.
Give us your top three, right? Thailand, you're full time, you've got your Thai wife, your family there, you're living an everyday life, you're not there on holiday going into the bars every night. So what are your top three, what has he written it? What's your top three frustrating, your top three frustrations about being in Thailand?
Yeah. Okay, I'll give the top three pros and cons. I'd say the worst things it's so difficult to find skilled labour. So if you want a plumber, electrician, any job done properly, building. If you've ever done building work in Thailand, and I'm sure many of you have, or it's a nightmare, to find a good tradesman who knows what they're doing, and who that's one of the big pet hates to find that.
I was just thinking about the window in our shop.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that winds a lot of people up is the racism towards, or the two-tier system. So all this double pricing, double standards. They wherever you go, it's like 40 baht for a Thai person, 400 for a foreigner. So it's not. Doesn't make you feel very good when you live and work here, you pay taxes here, and they still charge you extortionate fees compared to Thais. That's another thing. And the third thing, what's the third thing? Again, just about some of the quality of stuff like the pavements and stuff. I mean, if you ever come to Thailand with a pushchair, I remember when our kids were young, you'd go down the pavement pushing a pushchair, and it's so uneven, and then you'd get there and there'd suddenly be a telephone box in the middle of the pavement, and it's like you can't go round it, so you have to go onto the road, round it, and then back on. So it's little things like that. But I mean, every country's got its pros and cons. But the pros, I mean, very easy to get things here. Everything you can get really easily. Food, DIY stuff you can go and buy practically everywhere. The bureaucracy, I mean, it works for and against you. Sometimes it's frustrating when you go to government offices or places to get things done. But then on the flip side, sometimes you can, pay a nice little thing under the table and get things done very quick. Yeah. So to help the bureaucracy along, so that's a good thing. Yeah. So yeah, and then the weather. I mean, you can never grumble about the weather and the people. So all in all, the pros for me outweigh the cons, 10 to 1. So
yeah, definitely. Right, Christopher Walker. What about if you get divorced? Will they revoke your citizenship after that? It would surprise me. And just quickly before you answer that one, Kevin Closter. Hi Peter. Have you ever stayed in the top Thai hotel in Pattaya. I think I remember you. Probably. I've stayed in a lot of hotels in Pattaya, but yeah.
So yeah, as far as I know, I mean, once you've got your citizenship, that's it. I mean, you know, you're a citizen. So if you get divorced or whatever, then no, you don't lose your citizenship. Also, the other question there was from where was it? Not Scott. Oh, there, Paul. Do you have to renounce your English citizenship to get a Thai citizenship? No. I mean, again, it's one of those places where you can hold dual citizenship.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, if some of you have got, you know, English kids, sorry, not English kids, but, you know, half Thai and half whatever nationality, then, you know, they can hold two passports. So, I mean, like my children, they've got English and Thai passports. I don't know if American, I don't know if you have to, if America allows you to hold two nationalities, I don't know.
I don't think anybody would apply for it if they have to revoke their own citizenship. I mean, you say Americans. Well, if they had to give up their American citizenship to have a Thai citizenship, would they do that? I mean,
well, this
I'm
is
not
it.
saying
I mean,
one
this
is better than the other, but who would do that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Talking about the two-tier pricing, did you read about the in Phuket about they were testing, you know, for the Cyrus when people come through the airport. I think it's domestic flights mainly, and the original idea was to charge everybody, Thais and foreigners, 300 baht each for the test, and then some bright spark in a government office decided that they'd charge foreigners 500 instead of 300, and the Thais would be free. So a lot of people were getting wound up about that. So you come in off a domestic flight, everybody gets tested, Thais are free, foreigners, and this is even if you've got a work permit or a residence permit. So like you, so if you come through with Turk, your wife, she would go free, and they'd ask you for 300 baht. How would that make you feel?
Oh yeah, I did see that story, and I saw the government's justification of it, and they were saying, you know, they're like the Thais are covered by the national, what do you call it, the like the sickness policy, the sickness benefits, which, like you say, if you live and work here and you pay taxes, then we also pay into the social security scheme. But yeah, we still have to pay the 500 baht, and I can't remember, but the government's response to it just didn't make sense. They said something like we still have to cover the nurses, and I don't know. It was just didn't make sense. So yeah, but yeah, that winds people up. You know, you pay tax, you have to pay. You know, obviously your tax when you work here, and into the social system. But you know, but then anyway, that's Thailand.
Tell everyone about that time when you lost it outside the theme park or the park you went to with a big Thai family. You actually lost it that time, didn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you know, you go to all these places, you know, whether it's Siam World, and you know, the aquarium, the ruins in Ayutthaya, and quite often, I mean, a lot of places, you know, if you say, look, I live in Thailand, I work in Thailand, here's my kids, you know, here's my wife, let me in for a Thai price. A lot of them do, you know, so it's not everywhere that enforces it religiously. But yeah, I mean, I think it was at Ayutthaya, the ruins in the Ayutthaya, and it's something like, I don't know, it's not expensive. It's only like 100 and something baht, so it's not the money, but it was the principle. And I'm like, I live here. Why they can go? You should let me in free and all this. Answer. I said, I live and I just like moaning and moaning. And at the end of the day, she just said to me, "You have Thai ID?" And I said, "No." She said, "You pay then." And that was just.
That's a good answer. That's a good
it's
answer.
It's like, yeah, how can you argue with that? It's like, okay, but yeah, that's funny.
What do you think? Do you think it's worth this elite visa? It's really expensive, about $17,000 or something, isn't it? Do you think it's worth? Do you think that?
Yeah,
do you know anything about the elite visa? Is that something that's worth?
Yeah. I know a couple of people who have got the elite visas, and.
So what's the benefits of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the elite visa is obviously, you know, I can't remember all the pros and cons of it, or all the pros of it, but basically you get the elite visa, and then you don't have to keep doing your non-immigrant B or non-immigrant O, and it lasts for, I think it's 10, 20 years, or they have different levels, but yeah, I mean, basically you get, you know, you don't have to do your visa runs anymore. You get VIP pass at the airport. You get memberships to certain golf clubs. you can and the older ones you can resell. So if you don't want it anymore, you can sell it on, and it transfers to the new person. So I mean, you think about it. I mean, a lot of people, if you're here long term, I mean, you look at say 10 years. If you're renewing your, I don't know, your retirement visa or your non-immigrant B visa every year, that's going to cost you, I don't know, 50,000. By the time, if you take into account all the costs, so I mean, paying that one-time elite visa and not having to worry about it anymore, yeah, I think it suits some people, but
I
don't
think it's
know.
all down to if you've got the money, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's it. And I mean, obviously you've got to pay that big
big
chunk of money.
Yeah, it's worth it if you've got the money. I mean, when I lived in Bangkok, I never seen the inside of an immigration office, never once.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to take 4 passports down to, I forget what street it was now, but I used to, they'd get the non-immigrant and I just went every 3 months, give them my passports and some few thousand baht, and they got stamped. I never, like I say, I never seen the inside of an immigration office. I'm not sure I'd want to either.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, it's pretty easy to get your visas and all that here, to be honest. I mean, if you can do it yourself if you want, or if you don't, there's plenty of agents who do it, and there's not so many of the dodgy ones about now, because there were quite a few dodgy ones, and what they were doing is they were issuing fake stamps, and I mean I got caught once. I mean years and years ago. Yeah, I mean I used a particular person, and they done my stamps for me, and I assumed everything was fine. And then when I started a new job in Phuket, and when the hotel went to do my paperwork, they checked it, and it's like, oh, this stamp is fake. It's not real. And I mean,
So
luckily, I mean, they the immigration officer, they obviously, it was a big hotel that was applying, and they sorted it out, and I redone my visa, redone my work permit, and everything was fine. But since then, I never ever used some of the dodgier ones. The most legit ones are the people who actually do go to immigration, and normally they just cut out all that work, because you think
is it illegal though or not for them to do that?
Yes and no. I mean,
I want to ask you something when you finish with this.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, if you're running a business, or you're in a well-paid job or whatever, you got to think about it. If you're earning a salary of 100, 200,000, whatever, 300, whatever it is, what's your daily rate? And if for you to take time off work and run around to the Labour Department, to the Immigration Department, to the medical centre, get all your paperwork done, do the photo, by the time you do all the stuff you need, how much is that going to cost you? And I mean, if you pay an agent, a lot of the time they'll charge between 10, 15,000 baht to do it all for you, and they do all the running around. They go to immigration. You do still have to go a lot of the time, but then you just sit. Yeah, you just sit there for like 5 minutes. I mean, my guy, he calls me up and says, right, you need to come to immigration on this day at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I'll go there. He's been there hours before. He's got the number. He's got everything ready. I just turn up, and he says, right, give me 5 minutes. I'll wait. The immigration guy comes, calls the number. I go over, smile into the camera, say hello, thank you very much, and I'm gone, and I'm like in and out, But if I did that myself, I'd have to run around and all of the rest of it. So, yeah. So, yeah, what was you going to ask me?
I don't know if it's my internet connection or... I'm going to ask you, but am I coming through all right? Because you froze for a while then.
You're coming through a little bit jittery on this end.
Yeah.
It's not raining where you are, is it?
No, for a change.
I was just looking.
I'll ask you the question.
Yeah, Peter Hopkins' network bandwidth is low. Just got a message come up. So yeah, I was just looking at some more of the comments.
If you can hear me, I'll ask you the question.
Yeah, I can hear you. It took my wife 4 years after becoming an Australian resident to become an Australian citizen, plus a load of cash. So yeah, I mean, that was the same when I was in the UK for my wife, to get her British citizenship. I think it took about 4 or 5 years before she could eventually, go for her British citizenship. So
what I was going to ask you was, on this, I used to do what you said with using the agents, but I made a couple of videos last year on like realistic budgets to live in Thailand. You know, you get these guys who say, "Oh, I live in Thailand on $500 a month and I have a great time." It's all bullshit, basically, isn't it? And I made these videos, and I didn't talk about 800,000 baht in the bank, and I didn't talk about all this because I've always used an agent. I got so much flack off people. They said, "No, those agents are illegal and the stamps aren't real." And I kept sort of responding and saying the reason I didn't put the 800,000 into the budget is because you don't need it. You know, you really don't. You know, you can pay an agent once a year, and people just wouldn't have it. They thought it was either they were fake stamps or you just couldn't get it done. And I've always done it. And I know, you know, Rob, he's done it last year. I was there when he done it. I met the woman who done it for him. They're all real, and it's, you know, it's. I think most of the good ones you find them in travel agents around tourist areas, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean, they're you know, to be honest, for me, I always use an agent now. I never used to. Years and years ago, I used to run around myself, and like I said, it's a waste of time. I'd much prefer to be sitting at home or at work doing my work and not have to worry about giving up 2 days just to run around doing a visa. It costs me more money being away from my business than it does.
Yeah, you know, the other thing that you hit the nail on the head was when you said, like, if you do it as a foreigner and you've got this form you got to fill in, even if somebody helps you translate it, you get one little thing wrong, you're 4 day at immigration, and they'll say, "Sorry, but that's wrong. You got to do it again." But if you're using an agent, he's got a relationship with that immigration officer. So if he's, you know, if there's a little mistake on the form, they're mates, aren't they? They just sit there together and, you know, say, "Look, that's not right. Oh, sorry," and change it. And it's, you know, it's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, a typical example is exactly that. I mean, if you go there on your own, let's say you take all your paperwork there and you forgot to photocopy one page of your passport with your last visa, for example. You know, if you were there on your own trying to do it, the agent would just look at that and say, "Oh, this page missing. Sorry, you cannot stamp it. You come back another day," and that's it. You know, you're going to have to go off, or he might say come back later. You got to go off again and do it all, or you might have to go back again. With an agent, you know, like you say, there's that relationship. They see him every day, and they'll be like, "Oh, this page missing. Okay, you bring it to me later." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." The agent will say, "Okay, I'll bring it to you later." But you can go back to work or go back to wherever you are and know that the agent's going to handle it and do it all, and you've got your stamp and it's done, you know. And that's what that's happened to me a few times, and yeah, everything's been cool. So yeah,
people just they just didn't believe me. They were like, "No, you know, it's illegal." And
you just got to make sure. To be honest, the best ones are, you know, when you go to immigration, especially at Chang-Mia, the big one, you'll see loads of agents there. They've got a big pile of paperwork and passports, and you see the same ones every time you go. Those are the ones you want to be using because they are at immigration. You know that they've got proper stamps. The guys who have got, you know, a little shop, like there was one in particular who got busted a few years ago. He had people. Oh, his office was always buzzing, and I thought he was legit, but it turns out he was the one who was issuing dodgy visa stamps. So yeah.
I think really the best thing you can do is, if you're not sure, is just use one on recommendation. I mean, a lot of the agents, like, people write to me and say, "Can you give us the name or the number of an agent?" But they don't like you to do that. You know, the agents who do this, who provide this service, are not difficult to find in Thailand. But the problem is, you know, if somebody asks me, "Can you give me the name and the number of an agent?" they don't actually like to do it that way. They want you to take the person to them and introduce them to them face to face, and that's normally the way to do it. But if you're there and you don't know anyone, it doesn't take long, because, you know, for instance, if you're in Pattaya and you're going around the bars, you just ask other foreigners, you know, and eventually you'll find them, won't you?
Well, yeah, but also on that, I would say, you know, for me, I disagree a little bit. Is that the companies that, like, for example, the accountancy firms, you know, if you've got a business here and you use an accountant, quite often they'll be the same company that does the visa for you as well. And I mean, and those legit companies, you know, they're you can find them online. They're on they're advertising, but they do more than just the agent, you know, work. They do the company registration, company finance. They do your social security for your staff. but they do like a lot of other stuff as well. They're the good companies because they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking of the company. I was kind of thinking of guys around my age who just want to go out to Thailand and get the visa. Who don't have companies. They just want to jump on a plane. They've got maybe a little girlfriend out there. They want to rent a room and they just don't want the hassle of having to go in immigration. So yeah, it's right what you said about the company and stuff. But you get a guy of my age who just wants to jump on a plane and stay out there without the hassle. Then
Yeah, and like you say, you get to meet other foreigners, and they always recommend someone, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll use this. So yeah, it's very easy to find them. So like you say, you find them quite quick. I was just looking back on some of the comments on Bo Luke.
That's what I'm looking over here, yeah.
I live in Japan, and agents here are perfectly legal. I can't imagine it being different in Thailand. So yeah. I mean, I think most countries. There's your relation. Look, Peter, we are related. Let's talk here first. Clinton.
Him again. Where's it say that? Oh yeah, Clinton. Peter, we're related. Let's talk here. No, we're definitely not related.
Oh, you don't know. It could be. You're not heard of these. What do you call them? Them. What's them things you have in the UK now, where you send off your blood sample and.
I'm on that. Yeah, I found some relatives.
There you go. He could be a long lost relative.
They don't contact you through chat on a YouTube channel. They contact you through Ancestry. They get linked. We've found a second and first cousin. Send a message. Yeah, they don't think, right, I'll look for his YouTube channel and
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. Clinton, how are you related to Peter?
Yeah, good question. How are you related? Unless you've got something to pass on to me, like a rich relative has asked you to pass on.
Are you sure you've not got any stray offsprings from?
I don't think so. I think the gun's got no bullets in it now. Yeah, we'll wait to see if he comes back on that one. Poor Nolan, DNA. No one's taking mine. Oh, talking of DNA, I was going to say no one's taking mine. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that on there, can you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
see that?
Bruise on your arm.
Yeah, there. I was in, and that, look. I was in A&E last night, 4.25 hours.
What was you doing there then?
Well, a bit paranoid, really. I was out driving and I had a pain. I woke up in the morning and I had a pain. It wasn't right in my chest. It was kind of here under my ribs, but it was like deep inside the body. And it wasn't there all the time. And I haven't done any heavy stretching or anything. And every now and again, I'd get this pain, like a stabbing. And you get worried, don't you? Because it's my age and where it is and everything. And it went on throughout the day. And someone said, look, just go down to A&E. Better be safe than sorry. And I didn't want to go down. And in the end, I thought, sod it, I'll go down. I went there at 4:30 in the afternoon. And they give me one of these, is it called a CGI, or where they put all the suckers on you? And I had one of them, and then I had 2 blood tests, and I had to wait an hour between the blood tests, and I had to wait 2 hours for it to come back from the lab. Anyway, at the end of the day, it was all normal, and I lost 4.5 hours in my evening last night, but at least I'm not going to have a heart attack at the moment.
Well, you've got to be careful. Like you say, I mean, what's that, what they say, is it, what's that acronym where they have the thought SMILE, is it, or something, where, if you got the effects of a stroke coming on, where you go numb on your left.
Isn't it? I mean, I feel perfectly fine, but it's an age thing. The bottom line is I am 61 and I don't smoke. A drink probably would be too much. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I'm not the healthiest eater some of the time, and it's just something that can happen. You just when you start getting pains around your chest and you don't know why, it does send you into a bit of a panic. And I went last night, I had all the tests, and it was a waste of time as far as, I lost my evening. But I've had 1 or 2 of the paints a day, but I know it's nothing to do with the heart. I've probably got gas or something, I don't know. So I'm glad I went anyway.
That's it. No, I wasn't laughing at you a minute ago. I was just looking at some of the comments. So Hard Tulip was DNA, LOL. Are you okay, Peter? And then Christopher Walker, Peter is everyone's uncle. That's the one thing. I'm sure you've found the same. Do you remember years ago when you come to Thailand? You'd walk down the street and everyone's like, "Oh, hello, handsome man, handsome man." Now, at our age, it's like, "Papa, uncle." It's like really makes you feel old. It's like gone are the days of being called handsome man. Now, it's, "Papa, you okay? You want a beer?" It's like, make me feel even older.
Right, Hard Tulip. I had severe heartburn last year. Scary. Yeah, if it's anything to do around the heart, it does sort of scare you. But what's your views on? Okay, Paul Nolan. You can't put messages on screen with this software, can you?
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh, no, you mean their comment?
The chat.
No, I can't at the moment.
You're using OBS, aren't you? Because I use StreamYard, and on mine,
Yeah.
I can just click on a chat and it will show it on the chat. Because sometimes I get chats that come through that I don't want to say because they're a bit risque, if you know what I mean. But I will show it, so it doesn't come out on the audio. Because YouTube, I mean, it's not a person sitting checking every video. They've got, they've got computers that do it. So when you upload a video, a computer will go right through it, and they got all the words in, all the swear words, everything's in YouTube's system. And if it's something dodgy, then they won't monetize it, or somebody might look at it. But so what I do, if I get something that's kind of on the border, I will show it on the comments because it doesn't come out on the video then. But I was just wondering, because I don't know which one it was now. There was a comment that I wanted to show, but is that a feature maybe you find?
Yeah, I will find that next time.
Because it's a really good feature. Because sometimes people do say things, and it's like, oh, I don't know, should I say that or not?
Yeah, no, that's it. And thank you for that, Christopher. FAST, FAST. That's the acronym for the stroke thing, you know.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, did you see that comment a little while ago from Kev Closter, the one who was on about the hotel? He says, "Hi, yes, Peter, I'm sure it was you." He says, "I'm sure it was you sitting next to me watching the Terminator film on Pirate at P72 Bar in what is now Walking Street."
P72 Bar, a little bit of history. That's one of the oldest bars in Pattaya, actually, the P72. Did anybody watch that Alan Wicker documentary on Pattaya from 1987? Did you see that?
No.
Somebody sent it to me. That was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Taxi to Lao. Dreading the day I'm called Papa. How old are you then? No, it's right. The thing about Thailand, it doesn't matter how old you are. The more money you got in your pocket, the more handsome you are. Yeah. Cheers from Norway. Hi, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Gears. Cheers.
I like the Tahitian Queen. That's another old one. That is a Tahitian Queen.
That was the one that was going to be closing down, right? But I think they saved it. They saved it in the end, I think.
Yeah. Hi from Chicago. Is that Scott? Yeah. Hi. Paul. No Maxine for me. We'll wait and see. First neighbour had a blood clot.
Oh, geez.
I had the. No, let's not talk about that. Mazza, my heart rate increased the first time I went out in Bangkok. Yeah.
Yeah. Just have a heart attack walking down the street in Bangkok.
I know.
See some of the sights.
Yeah.
Was that you? I saw. Was that you who was with? We were out one time. I think you talked about it last time. Sitting there just having a beer and see some poor old guy getting beat up on the other side by a couple of girls.
Oh, that's normal. That is. Yeah, I've seen Thai girls. I've seen Thai girls like lay into foreigners. But the thing is, like I've always said in my videos, there's no grey area with the Thais. It's black or white, and they're very patient. They let a lot of things go, but you push too many buttons, and you're not going to see a few sparks fly. You're going to see the box of rockets explode. And if you're on the other end of that, then I wouldn't like to be in your shoes. And I have seen a couple of Thai girls beat up a drunk foreigner, but they did beat him up. And normally what happens then, all the tuk drivers join and start, Right, taxi to I'm 49 people. I keep myself fit and fighting. Yeah, that's the way to do it, isn't it? But we haven't all got the drive, I mean, if we could all have the drive to eat healthy and go to the gym every day, we'd all be healthy, but it's a human factor, isn't it? I've got a dog, Benji the Beagle. I walk him twice a day, but other than that...
Benji the Beagle.
Yeah, that's his name, Benji.
Benji, wasn't that one of them TV programs about a dog?
I had a Beagle before this. I had a really original name for her. She was called Skip.
Yeah, I remember Skip.
Very imaginative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. My ex-police shipyard working father had 2 massive heart attacks 17 years apart. There was it's getting a lot of fun, this stream, isn't it? There was a guy who ran the London Marathon a few years ago. I remember reading it, and he was I don't know if he was a professional athlete, but he did a lot of athletics. His running was his passion. He was out every day running, and he did this London Marathon, and he was just about 40, just under 40, something like that. He had a massive heart attack and died on the spot. So I think a lot of it's got to do with your makeup, how you're made up. It's not
definitely. I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, you know, it's like as I mean, I'm sure we're all the same. It's like the thing is, as you get older, you know, you don't feel old yourself. I mean, I'm sure you're the same. It's like inside, I still feel like I did when I was 25 or whatever, but you just can't physically do the stuff. And you know, the one thing I noticed, you know, the amount of people I know now who have passed away. I mean, it's like someone told me, another friend the other day, it's like, Jesus, he's died, and he was like, he was younger than me, and it makes you really start worrying. I mean, quite a few people we know have passed away, and it's like, Jesus, they were younger than me, and yeah, you just have to be extra careful, don't you know? And like you say, unfortunately, I'm not the fittest person, and I need to get on the treadmill and lose some pounds, and you know, definitely give up some drinking and eat healthier.
Hard tulip. Rick Mayak died after jogging in his 40s. Was that his name? And Glenn Hendricks. Genetics is a huge, yeah. I mean, it's how you're made up, isn't it? But so you're going to do another diet, are you?
Yeah, I probably will. I mean,
instead of 10 every night.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I mean, we bought a treadmill, and I think I've used it once since we had it.
How many cobwebs are on it now?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, one time I started going to the gym, and I think I lasted there about a week. Then I started doing badminton, and that was quite good. I like the badminton. I mean, we do plan to start up badminton again. Obviously, once everything's back to normal, but we can't at the minute. But I really do. I'm up to 100, and I weighed myself yesterday. I'm now up to 108 kilos. It's like, Jesus, 108 kilos.
How tall are you?
I'm 181 centimetres. So my BMI, or whatever, my ideal weight should be around 80, should be around 86 kilos, I think. 85, 86. So yeah, I've got to lose about 20, 30 odd kilos. How about you? What do you weigh now?
110, but how high are you in feet and inches?
I'm 6 foot, around 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm 6'1", so we're about the same weight. I'm slightly heavier than you.
Yeah.
But if I take my wallet out of my pocket, I'll lose a couple of kilos.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I found, and
am I coming through? Because I think my internet's playing up.
Yeah, I've tried that many diets. I've tried the Atkins diet. I've tried this diet, that diet, and you know what you find is when you first start it, you'll lose loads of weight because obviously you give up drinking. You suddenly cut back on your food, so your weight drops quite quickly in the first few weeks, but then it sort of plateaus until no matter what. I mean, I nearly, I was having like one meal a day, and I just couldn't drop any more weight. And I think with all of these diets, no matter what you do, the key is exercise. If you don't exercise, you could eat a bowl of, salad every day, and you're still not going to drop as much as you want to. I mean, I think that's definitely a key. You've got to do some exercise.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but that's what people say here. They say it's not about a diet; it's about a lifestyle. You've got to change your whole lifestyle. But I'll just say hello to the very lovely-looking Francesca there. How are you? This is going to be a regular live stream for Simon and I now at this time, so Simon can join in. So you changed all your Google passwords, did you?
Yeah. Hi, Francesca. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you were at her apartment building a while ago, weren't you? Not to be taken in the wrong way.
Not at Francesca's apartment, but I was in the same area.
Yeah, don't mention where it is.
Yeah, I was in the same area, but yeah.
She said she was watching an old stream. No, if you're here now, we are here today live, shaking hands and everything.
Yes, look, we are live.
Yeah. Popcorn, 10,000 steps a day, and cut out sugary stuff as that turns into fat. I try to, the good thing about the UK now, you can get a lot of food that doesn't have sugar in it, and they've really perfected the taste. In the old days, when you got, some tomato soup with no sugar, it tasted like cardboard, because obviously if you take the sugar out, the taste is gone, and they blend the flavors, the recipes to taste good, right? So they don't sell their products. But now the good thing about the UK, you can get so much that has no sugar in it, and we have it all. Sugar-free marmalade, sugar-free soups, sugar-free.
Yeah,
tomato
I remember.
sauce, ketchup.
I'm sure I remember watching though one of these programs where they say a lot of this, because they were trying to get more strict on the food labeling, because they were saying, a lot of these things they put on there, like 70% less sugar or whatever, but actually it's still got tons of sugar. But and it's like you don't really know, are you getting a healthy item, because the packaging and the labeling is just so misleading on a lot of the stuff. But I don't know, because they introducing some sort of new labeling system in the UK so that people could easily.
We got the traffic light colouring. It helps. The traffic light colour. It tells you how much sugar, how much salt, and everything. But they're really sort of snidey how they do it, because if you've got a can of soup and you want to know how many calories in that can of soup, you're not interested about how many's in per 100 grams or how many's in the half a tin, or that's how they do it. So you look at it quickly and it's like, 200 calories, great. But if you look at it closely, it's 200 calories per 100 grams, and there's 400 grams in that can of soup. They just kind of pull the wool over your eyes all the time. Yeah. Anyway, this is the Thailand-Bound Health Hour. Welcome.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what else is
health advice from two fat foreign guys.
Yeah. Hard chili made one soup, one what a mess, supposed to be Italian popular. I can't cut out sugar, but definitely more aware. Try to. It depends where you live. I mean, if you live in a place like Thailand, it's really hard to cut it out. But in the UK, it's getting a lot easier, as long as you don't buy processed food, because that's full of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, taxi driver David Sinclair is the guy to listen to if you want to have a long, healthy life. Fascinating guy, but you've got to have some fun too. It's about a balance. It's about a happy balance, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, that's right. That's it. I mean, I think that's the thing about Thailand. I mean, you've got access to fresh food, everywhere. I mean, I do admit, when I was in the UK, you tend to go to Tesco's and buy lots of the frozen food and have a freezer full of stuff, whereas Thailand, we don't have that much in our freezer, because everything we just go buy fresh. We have a little. The good thing, like where I live in our Mubam, which is like a little village for little sort of community housing, we have a fruit and veg truck come around every day. So they come and park up, for a couple of hours in different locations, and they got all your fruit, vegetables, some of the sauces on there, which is really handy. Plus, 7-Eleven and Tesco are right at the top of the street, so it's like jump on the motorbike and go buy stuff. So it's really convenient, but
Where's your camera? Is it above you, in front?
Me, I've got one camera here.
But the reason I'm asking, because I should be looking here, because that's where the camera is, right? But you're down here, and it's really hard when I'm talking to you. It's really hard to talk like this. I'm looking at you talking, so obviously I'm not. I should be looking there, but I just wondered, because you seem to be looking at the camera all the time, and I'm looking over here because the comments are on my other screen, and I haven't even got this one here.
What's that? All right. I've just got to try to get everything sorted again in my, because I've just redone almost the studio that I built at home. So it's like I've just reorganised everything. So I'm trying to get used to the new layout.
He's back again. Clinton, Peter, how do you? We're not related. I'm sure you're my uncle, nephew Clinton. Well, you keep me as entertained anyway. We'll give you that.
Yeah.
We've had a lot worse than that. Got my itchy nose. I was getting itchy nose on a stream. I don't know why. Right, Keith. Hi guys. I find in Thailand, their food is always fresh and with, Kia, always better. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing you're not going to have a problem with in Thailand is fresh food.
Yeah. The thing, I mean, did you see they're now rebranding all the Tesco's? Because Tesco's was sold in Thailand.
What are they now?
Yeah. So, they sold out to the CP group, so they're now rebranding them Lotus. So it's Lotus with an apostrophe and then S. So Lotus. But anyway, so they're now started to rebrand them. So they're now redoing all the signage and dropping the Tesco's name.
This is not a joke. Talking of signs, you don't go to the airport very often, do you?
Right, why?
Because they've got big billboards with a girl with a cup of milk or something. It looks like milk.
I've seen that one.
It says, "Drink fresh semen. It's good for you." Have you seen that?
Yeah. So, that's a popular drink you know.
But is it?
But yeah,
Yeah, but it's
whoever
got a space,
whoever
hasn't
was
it?
the market and all that, they didn't think that through,
No,
did they?
get their arse kicked.
And the amount of Thais, there was quite a few stars drinking it. Oh, I love Siemens.
I know,
I
I
love the
know.
taste of. I think I've got some pictures of it somewhere. After.
I come off it last time I was there. I come off the aircraft. I was in the taxi heading into town, and I thought I was, jet lagged. Obviously, I was looking. I thought I can't be reading that properly, and it is. And then you got that nice girl there, haven't you, drinking?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a few.
Okay.
There's quite a few fails, as you'd say, in the branding in Asia.
Yeah. Right, let's get away from this food subject. Name, thanks for the food time. Right, Hardship, so happy my Thai girlfriend got a bar job in Pattaya, starts when bars open. Really? At least you know where she'll be.
Yeah.
Paul Nolan, hopefully Thailand back to normalish this year. I don't think it will be, Paul. I honestly don't think it will be this year. It's getting worse before it's getting better. We won't delve into this in a big way because it's what we talked about at the beginning. But I mean, I don't want to be this sort of bringer of doom and gloom, but I can't see it till at least April next year now. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it'll be a long time. This is going to be a really long, low season for everybody. It's like, I think that everyone's missed the high season this year. It's not going to get back to normal, I don't think.
What's it like for? I mean, do you watch Trevor's channel, Buzz and Pattaya?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he does all these videos and stuff, but I wonder what it's like for sort of like just people who want to go out down there. Is there much to do you think, or?
In where, sorry? When you go out and about? Yeah, I mean, I think, there's still, well, up until probably this week, there was lots of places to go to. Everywhere was open still. It's only in this last week or so that they've now started shutting places down again because it's getting so bad. So, I mean, there's still lots of places that are open because, again, not everybody's following the close down, but this is what people are waiting to see. If they don't follow it and it gets worse and worse and worse, then they'll end up, doing a curfew again, which nobody wants, but they're already talking about it. They're saying, they might introduce it, but they don't want to yet. They've introduced a fine, so if you don't wear a mask, it's a 20,000 baht fine. So they're definitely considering it. So
I've just kind of resigned it now. I mean, I used to, in the early days when this first started, I was like, oh, how much longer? Maybe it's going to be April, maybe it's going to be August, maybe it's going to be October. But you know what? Now I don't even think about it now. I rarely watch anybody's YouTube channels about Thailand anymore. I've just kind of resided myself. So I'm going to be stuck in the UK until God knows when. It'll be a nice surprise when I can actually get back.
Yeah.
I don't know what do you mean by that? Where was that one I just read? Yeah, Keith. Hopefully the new Tesco brand name is Lotus, not Locust. Oh, okay, got you. Dude, I hope the July Phuket thing works. I know that's optimistic. It's very optimistic at the moment. Those plans about Phuket in July were before they've had their kind of third wave.
Well, that's it.
I don't.
Now they're not allowing anyone into Phuket unless you've got a certificate. So they're stopping all people arriving. But do you wear a mask outside too? Yeah, I wear a mask everywhere now. Well, I have done ever since it started. Every time I go outside, I'll wear a mask. It's only every now and again. Maybe if I'm doing a video, I'll take that off. But everywhere we go, we're wearing a mask. And I saw as well, obviously when we're in the car with the kids or whatever, then we don't wear a mask. But I just saw a article yesterday that they're now saying that if you're in a car with two or more people, you also have to have a mask on, which, it just seems a bit over the top.
I think, where's she come from? Oh, what's going on in the background there? I mean, the thing is in the UK, most of the people do what, if the government say you've got to, not go out in groups and stuff, most of the people listen. What are you looking at? You look.
Who?
You. Where are you looking?
I'm looking at you on the screen. So because my screen's over there, with the camera's here, but the screen's just there. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to change the subject from the big Cyrus. I'm better for it. Mr. Superstar, some of the places Trevor visited that said it was busy. From memory, it was LK metro area. Now, I remember he did one where he walked up Soy 6, and it was all open, but it looked like there was no one there. Might have been early though. Robert UK, hi, if you do this Phuket thing after 3 weeks, can you then travel other areas of Thailand, or do you have to stay in Phuket only? Well, do you know about that one, Simon?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is, again, before the last week, everything's changed in the last week or 2 weeks because, you know, up until then, yeah, if you arrived in Phuket, for example, and done your quarantine, then once you've done it, you could travel pretty much everywhere. But they've now stopped all that, you know. So, yeah, I mean, so if you go to a province, even if you drive from Bangkok to Hue Hin, you're meant to have a certificate. Although the official announcement says you must have a certificate if you're travelling from a red zone to a different zone. But I've spoke to several people and they've done the drive and they said there was nothing to stop them. So although it's been announced, they're not enforcing it as such. But, you know, that's Thailand. They could suddenly start tomorrow and, you know, then you got no argument because if you don't listen to it and then you do try to drive and you haven't got it, they'll just turn you back. But at the moment, many people have driven from Bangkok to Hue Hin and other places and they haven't been stopped. So who knows? I think everyone's waiting to see, obviously, the end of this month, which is, you know, a few days away now. We're into May. Everyone's then waiting to see what the government are going to announce because payday, people are going to start travelling again. You've got Labour Day coming up. So, yeah, everyone's waiting to see what's going to happen this weekend, really. But let's see.
Yeah, well, I don't think tourists need to worry about it. They're not going there, are they? David, do you gentlemen recommend another Thailand channels? Well, Simon and I have actually got, I think, 32 channels at the moment that we're going to review. They're all Thailand-based bloggers or people who make videos about Thailand. And I think I read the list out to you. I won't read it out now, but I read the list out on my stream on Saturday. And we might add a few more, but we're going to do it over 3 videos. So, you know, the channels that everybody knows, you know, you've got the Working For You, you've got the CB Media, you've got the Bangkok Dave, you've got the Do More Lives, the Brett Dev, you know, all the everybody you watch, Ed Sweeney, and we're going to take 10 at a time and we're going to actually review them, and then you can actually add to those comments. So we'll go through them 1 to 10. We'll say our piece, what we think about them, and why they're good, or they're, you know, what areas they concentrate on, and then invite you to, you know, bring in your comments. But when should we start that, Simon? Next week or the week after? Or?
I think that'd be good. Yeah, because I mean, you know, there's some very good channels. So yeah, maybe we can start next week. Because I'm sure
you don't have to name them, but are there any channels that you really hate? You just don't watch them because you can't stand the guy, or they're just boring videos, or?
No, not really. Because if I don't like them, I just don't watch them. So you know, any ones that I've gone on to I've not really liked them. I've just not subscribed to them, whatever. So there's quite a few channels. I mean. That I watch, and like you say, well, we'll do the review of them, our top 10.
Yeah,
and
don't give too much away now.
I'm sure. I mean, I know when I look at some of the live streams of other channels like you do, you know, Ed Sweeney and Buzz and Patia and all them other ones, you see some of the pretty much the same people on there. So you know, a lot of people who are here today are on them channels. So it's good. I think we're all watching the same sort of people. So yeah, it's good.
If you want to have a laugh. When you've got nothing better to do, just type into YouTube sometimes videos that have not had a single viewing. So there's guys who start, not Thailand, just anywhere. So what happens is they start a YouTube channel and they decide that okay, what I'll do is I'll review pens, and they talk about them with a passion. This pen, it's a nice good feel, the weight's good, and I like the way the nib comes out at the end, and nice sound when you click it, and it feels good in the, you know, I mean, they really are like that. And I watched one the other day, and it hadn't had a single view, and it had been up there about 6 weeks, and the guy was reviewing a torch, and he had such a passion for this torch. You know, he took the batteries out, put it on, and he was comparing it to an older model he bought 2 years ago, and he had these 2 torches. He said, right, now we're going to do a field test, and you see him leaving his house, and he goes into a field, and he says, here's the one from 2 years ago, and sweeps the ground, and this is the latest XYZ model, and look at the differences illuminating by this. And you know that you feel sorry for the guy because he's got such a passion about this torch, and nobody's
Yeah.
watched his videos. But something else. If you get bored.
Hi,
All right,
Baron.
let's see.
Baron Badger.
Baron
Hi.
Badger,
Welcome.
yeah. Dude, the expat report is funny. It's just a bitter guy that hates. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
I'll
spoken
tell you.
about him a few times. That's the guy who he used to live in Thailand, and he's got a chip on his shoulder about Thailand. He lives in Philippines now,
I'll
and
tell
he's
you
always
what.
slating.
Yeah, go on. No, I was gonna tell you, I was just doing some research the other day, and it's amazing when you look at, if you go onto YouTube and type in just Thailand, so you just type in Thailand and then search it and then sort it by the videos with the most views, so that once you've done your search, you can filter it or sort it at the top by viewer count. And if you look at the top videos all about Thailand, they're all about like the Voice Thailand. It's like the Voice Thailand, something else singing, and then food. The voice, food. So it's amazing when you look at like the top Thailand videos with their biggest views.
Have you ever watched Mark Wines?
Majority of them about food. Yeah, Mark Wines. He's obviously popular. He's got 5-6 million odd viewers, but yeah. So it's quite amazing. And then I've done some other research just on like what are the most popular YouTube channels. And I mean, it's amazing. Some of the most popular YouTube channels. Huh? You are?
I bet we weren't on that list, were we?
Not yet, no. No, but it was like an Indian music channel was one. Then you got this, what's his name? PewDiePie or whatever. Mr. Beast, he's got loads. And then stuff like the cartoons, the nursery rhyme channel. And Tasty, which is all up just about food. It's just a camera above a sauce, a frying pan, and it's good. I mean, I use it a lot, but it's amazing when you look at the most subscribed YouTube channels. I mean, it's not what you expect, and it just shows you that there's amount of content out there for everyone. One of the weirdest ones I looked at was it was just somebody reading out manuals. So they got like, and here is the manual for the Kenwood blender, and they're reading out this manual. And it's got like millions of subscribers, and you think, Jesus.
Yeah. Peter, you have a Korean wife. How does she fit in with the Thailand-bound scenario and with your impending move to retire to Thailand? Okay, so she's been with me since I met her when I worked. If you don't know, my background's hotels. I've been around the world, worked in a lot of hotels. So when I was in South Korea, I met my wife when she was about 19. And she lived in Bangkok with me, but we spent a lot of time apart, not because we'd fallen out. It's just, the Koreans are very family orientated, and she, it wasn't worth buying a ticket for a week. So she'd go back for sort of 3 months at a time while I was in Thailand. And, she's pretty cool with everything. I mean, she's friends with Simon's wife, and she's got a lot of Korean friends. We used to live on Sukhumvit 24 at the time, where the mall is. What's that market mall there, Simon?
Villa. Or the Emporium.
Oh, no. A Villa, a market. The Emporium, that's the one.
So, well, you got the Villa Gourmet Market as well, or whatever, the Gourmet Market. But yeah.
So she's still got a lot of Korean friends in Bangkok, and they used to hang out on, I think it's Soy 11 where Koreatown is, and eat there, and she'd go around the mall I just mentioned there. And yeah, she's pretty cool about everything. The culture is very similar to Japanese culture. She doesn't sort of nag me or sort of same way. I mean, I'd go down to Pattaya for a weekend with friends. She didn't have a problem with it. I mean, that's, I'm not. You don't put a ball and chain on. If she wanted to go out, she went out. I mean, it's, we just sort of trusted each other. And yeah, and if I settle down, yeah, of course she'll come with me. But again, the last time we went to Thailand, I mean, the first 4 days I was in Bangkok, I was out with Simon every night. I never seen her. I went back to the room and she'd come back because she was out with her Korean friends. They got hair studio things there. They do nails. And, I'd say to her, what do you want to do today in the daytime? She says, I'm going off to see my friend. And she'd be gone. And I'd be out with Simon. And then we went down to Port Inn together. And yeah, we spent a bit of time, riding around on the motorbike and going out to eat and stuff like that. But in Bangkok, I never see her. So yeah, it works out pretty good. It's not been a problem.
Yeah, no,
it makes me laugh when someone accuses me of being a sex tourist. It's like, no, I'm not.
That's it.
Right, dude, I can see that most of my US friends ask about the food. Thai food is very popular in certain parts of the US. Yeah. All right, Clinton Edgerton. Hi, Francesca Clinton. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you, yeah, yeah.
That's
Ignore
your nephew.
Francesca. She's I think she's gone anyway.
Yeah.
She's been in on my screen on a Saturday night, which is like 3 o'clock in the morning in Bank, or 4 o'clock in the morning. I think she's got young children, hasn't she?
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, you know, as we said, when for those of you that have been here from the start, this was. I know it's a new time slot, Wednesday. 6 p.m. Thailand time. I know it's not a convenient time for everybody, but it's. We were just trying to find a time that both myself and Peter can fit together. So because of the time differences. So for those of you
what time
are
is it
here,
where
thanks.
you are now?
It's now 7:30 our time.
All right, so we'll give it 5 or 10 minutes then, yeah, because I've got to get going as well. But yeah, we were.
Yeah.
If you just joined us, thanks for joining us on it's really the first planned stream. It was a little bit messed up at the beginning. But we sorted it out. It'll be better next week, and it'll be same time every Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, you can still get alcohol in the right places, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can. The good thing is you can still buy alcohol everywhere. 7-Eleven, all the shops, you can still buy
but
it.
They used to sell it 24/7, 7-Eleven, didn't they? And they don't now.
No, they've always had the time limit.
No, not when I lived in Bangkok. They didn't. I could go into a 7-Eleven. I used to come out of Nana and buy a beer from 7-Eleven at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it might be a different, definitely around certain areas, but I mean they've always had the licensing hours like 11 till 2.
They never adhered to them then, because when I lived there, you could get a drink 24/7 in any 7-Eleven. I mean, I forgot, and I went to 7-Eleven at 12:30, and they said, "No, you cannot. Time."
Yeah, there's always the little mama and papa shops. There's always somewhere where you can get it, and like I say, the good thing is they haven't banned alcohol sales from shops at the minute. It's only if you go out, restaurants, but you can't buy them. You can't drink when you go out, but you can buy it and go home.
You can always get around it. I mean, when they had the
coffee mug, yeah, that was definitely the case. You remember when they had the Buddha days, you'd be sitting in the bar and everyone would have a little cup of coffee or cup of tea or something on the table, fill a beer.
Oh yeah. No, weren't we? Yeah. But it's like when they have these like holidays, like Buddha days and not Chinese New Year. There's certain days where all the bars have to close for a weekend or a week.
Yeah.
But I know a shop. You're talking about mum and pop shops. I know a shop in Hua Hin. It doesn't matter what the holiday is. It doesn't matter what's the 7-Elevens won't be serving alcohol, but I can buy a bottle of whiskey, beers from that shop 24/7 any day of the week, regardless of any holiday.
Yeah. There's a few like that for sure, all over the place, which is good. So yeah.
And just in case anybody's going to ask, no, I'm not going to publicise the name of it here, because I'll probably get closed down. So anyway, okay, I think we're how long we've been on? Just over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Should we wrap? Do you think it's time to wrap it up, or yeah?
Yeah. I think like you said, we this is the first one we've been planned together, and as Peter said a little while ago, we'll be doing it every Wednesday. Myself and Peter will try to introduce some things that people can get involved in while we're on the stream, and we do plan to have a guest stream where people can come on and join us. So
how are you getting on with the membership?
Thanks for putting us up.
Putting us up.
Putting up with us, rather, not putting us up. Putting up with us. Up with us.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I won't be streaming this Saturday because it'll be too much. Then I did one last Saturday, and I won't be doing one this Saturday, but I'll be doing one next Saturday. You don't watch the stories, do you, Simon?
Yeah, I do watch up. Yeah, I do watch quite a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
You got a new story going up, right?
What's that?
You got a new story going up soon, yeah?
Every Saturday. I got 3 more. 3 more this Saturday. Pretty good ones.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, Chris, you just.
Oh wow, Christopher! Thank you very much.
We've only had 2 super chats, and they've both come from you. So thanks, Chris. And we're going to be ending it in a minute or so, but we'll keep it going a couple more minutes. Now,
yeah, thanks, Chris. We'll definitely have a beer for you.
A crate of beer on that in Thailand. Yeah.
$14.99. Yeah, blimey.
Yeah. Okay, so Taxi Dalal, he's gone back to work. Everyone's saying bye. Till won't name everybody as always, but if you've joined us here today, a lot of people have left the stream now. It's still 74, 73. Yeah, it's going down now. So okay, guys, I think that's about it for this week. Thanks for joining us on the.
Thanks everybody. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers all.